If you don't have a dream, you will die. There's nothing to live for. You will settle for whatever it is and you think there's nothing left. You need to put effort. Success requires your cooperation, not you passively sitting there. The opportunities are there. There are so many opportunities around, but you need to take a step and grab it. You and I have our own kinds of deserts to cross to get from this place where we are today to that place where we desire to be in the next 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. But when you talk to people who have killed their own dreams or who do not have any dreams of their own, that is when they'll downplay your dream and make it look like it is irrelevant. That is how you spot the difference. And unfortunately, they are not just justifying their decision, but they project it onto other people, because then they will start to make you feel like, oh, feature, oh, chirebidodo. How they also call your doctor. Then now, why you think you are better than us? I've been there before. Hello and welcome once again to our personal development class based on the book The Alchemist. I hope that you've had an amazing week. My week has been awesome. And I'm just so grateful to God for everything. We'll continue our lessons, but there's a song on my heart I want to sing to encourage all of us. And it is my prayer that for anybody out there going through a difficult time, the Lord Himself is going to lead you through the dark alleys. And everybody would know that indeed God is with you. He has strengthened you, He has comforted you, and He has rewarded. Amen. Until we continue with our passages from The Alchemist, today I am reading from page 139, our first passage. I don't know anyone around here who would want to cross the desert just to see the pyramid, said the merchant. They are just a pile of stones. You could build one in your backyard. The boy replied and said that you've never had dreams to travel. So the merchant is asking, but why would you want to go across the desert, go through all these dangers and difficulty, and it's not even free, you have to pay for it, just to see the pyramid? What are the pyramids? Pyramids in Sweden. They are just a pile of stones. You could even build them in your backyard. Papa no ton blocks na the broken blocks the man can give you, you can bring it to your backyard and come and build your own pyramid. Why do you want to go across the desert, meet all those reptiles, dangerous situations? That was the merchant's point of view. And he believes that great things are ordinary. What is so special about going to see the pyramid? It's just ordinary. It is not worth the effort that the boy was going to put in. And the boy replied very gently and said that you never had dreams of travel. In simple terms, what the boy is trying to tell him is that you don't have the capacity to value what you have never dared to desire. There are some people who have not dared to desire for anything good or beautiful or magnificent or extraordinary in their life. And so when you desire that, they try to downplay it. Now we swear then Benz and swear then Benz swear say na Honda i10 na you driving. Who told you that Honda i10 ne fene Mercedes Benz? But they would make you look like it's not a big deal. Car be a car. Who told you say car be a car? Sebi nipa mpo God created us in his own image and likeness. We are not the same. If anybody deceives you that we all of us our value is the same, I dare to tell you it's not true. We are not the same. This story is not about pyramids, so don't get it twisted. It's about how people, you and I, how we see life. How some people, like the merchants, will use great things and make it look like it is ordinary. They'll make it look like enyeshi na ayedeng. It is how people like the merchants would dismiss your dream because they never had the courage and the guts to dream themselves or to follow through and make their dreams a reality. It is about how people who are like the merchants will protect themselves from disappointment. And how do they do that? By devaluing the desire you have. They will devalue your desire or their own desire so that it would insulate them from disappointment of not getting what they should have dreamed for. If something feels unreachable to somebody like the merchant, they feel that this is too high for me, I cannot achieve it, then they will now convince themselves that it is not worth it. Medical school no class man kwa anya after any obi na was a doctor enya intimi nya doctor nti the medical school no me the MSc adipam. I'm not saying say adipam nye, but sometimes people do not want to put in the effort to get to that dream. And because they don't want to put in the effort, they settle for less and they will justify their decision. And unfortunately, they are not just justifying their decision, but they project it onto other people because then they will start to make you feel like, oh, feature, oh, chirebidodo. Or how they also call your doctor. Then now, why you think you are better than us? I have been there before. The fact that somebody cannot dream or have the courage to pursue their dream does not mean you should discourage somebody else from pursuing theirs. And there's this other side of the coin where there are people who understand that dreams are valuable and dreams will pull people forward. Your dream will push you forward. The desire in your heart might usher you to places where you have never been before, places where people in your family have never been before. They will usher you into greatness, into the corridors of power, into the annals of history, where we know that effort will give meaning to your experiences, that it is not every effort that will bring you the reward you want, but the experience that comes with making the attempt even to pursue your dream. It is worth it. You learn along the way. And we are people who have come to that point where we believe that having a dream and the realization of the dream is not just it, but even the process of bringing your dream to life, that journey, it's a reward in itself. The lessons you learn, the people you meet, the mistakes you make, the aha moments, the disappointment, the times when God will come through for you, the miracles, the small and big ones, the times of despair and hopelessness and helplessness, where the Holy Spirit ministers to you. It is not so much about you reaching the destination or realizing your dream, as it is about the rich, meaningful experiences and the relationships that you get to experience in the process of realizing your dream. When people bury their own dreams, if they had one in the beginning, what they would often do is that they'll mock other people's dreams. Or no, they've buried the ground and hidden the dream in the ground. Into your person, they will laugh at you for daring to dream. They did it to Joseph. And they will call your ambition foolish. Look, there comes the dreamer. They would say, you are stupid, you are insane for daring to dream. And anything that requires a bit of courage, a bit of them stepping out of their comfort zone to do, because they don't want to be courageous, because they don't want to put in the work or the effort, they'll minimize its importance and make it look like na school class and me need certificate I say nyehwe. After all, me ye adwuma wo mokola me need certificate bia me bra na akọ university kra me go sika sen no. That is how some people they'll minimize it because they don't want to gather that courage to take that step. And so they'll minimize it and make it look like enyehwe. And people like the merchant would always want to play emotionally safe. But in their bid to be emotionally safe, they become spiritually stunted. They become spiritually small. And God gives us vision or dreams for a reason. Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. If you don't have a dream, you will die. There's nothing to live for. You will settle for whatever it is and you think there's nothing left. But you need a dream. It is the possibility of having a dream come true or realizing your dream that keeps you going, that makes you wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. every morning and get to work, put your axe to the grind. It is the possibility of your dream coming alive so that you will not perish. Look at Abraham. When God called him, he had to go from his country to a land where I'll show you. When God is moving you from your comfort zone to the other side, the promotion, there's a period where you go through a difficult time. The boy is going to have to cross the desert to get to the pyramids. You and I have our own kinds of deserts to cross to get from this place where we are today to that place where we desire to be in the next 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. But you must have the vision. It must be written down. It must be plain, clear to you. God's greatest promises, his greatest desires for our life, it often requires long journeys. It requires uncertainties. It requires us to have faith that has no guarantees or that does not make sense to the ordinary person. And if Abraham had thought like the merchant thought, there would be no Israel today because he would never have left the familiar. Psalm 14 verse 1 says that the fool says in his heart, there is no God. People will reduce mystery, meaning, and wonder into nothingness. And that tells you when people start reducing things that are supposed to be grandiose and beautiful and magnificent, when they start reducing them to insignificant, when they say the pyramids are just a pile of stones, it tells you that this person's inner life, or no one, he's flattened it, he's squashed it. And it's surprising that the boy is the younger one here, the less experienced, but I'm beginning to see in the few conversations we've had that the boy seems to have a lot more depth and wisdom than the merchant. So you see, age and experience don't necessarily mean that it translates into wisdom. And the boy's statement here was very gentle yet profound. He said, "You've never had dreams to travel." It is not an insult per se, it is an observation that you are not wrong in what you have said. Your desire has never been awakened. So I'm not surprised you are saying what you are saying. What this whole conversation is teaching us is that people are likely to stop, people are likely to dismiss dreamers because they themselves, they stop dreaming. If you find somebody who is dreaming and has a dream or has dreams, when you speak your dreams to them, they encourage you, they motivate you. But when you talk to people who have killed their own dreams or who do not have any dreams of their own, that is when they'll downplay your dream and make it look like it is irrelevant. That is how you spot the difference. And sometimes the fear of not realizing their dreams will make them behave that way, and they would cover it with the guise of I'm just being real. I'm being real. How can you, a Kenke seller's daughter, go to medical school? Like, I mean, how? You know I'm telling the truth. Yes, he's telling the truth, but there's also something called miracle and breakthrough, and God, who is a protocol breaker. And so don't ever let anybody's realism statement cause you to believe that your dream is not worth pursuing. And great things would always look ordinary to people who have never dared to dream or reach for them. Page 240. There's a merchant speaking. "I don't much like change," he said. "You and I aren't like Hassan, that rich merchant. If he makes a buying mistake, it doesn't affect him much. Oh. But we too have to live with our mistakes." Me no wo deɛ yɛnte sɛ Hassan no, yɛyɛ mistake pɛ yɛabrabɔ na abɛwie. So you, let's stay where we are. Kakra na yɛmbɔ ho ban. Ɛma yɛnyɛ biom ɛnka ho. The merchant constantly is representing that voice or that person in life who doesn't like change, who is not willing to make mistakes because he thinks he cannot make mistakes. He's an ordinary person. If he makes mistakes, the consequences of the mistakes will be too much for him to pay for. And so he would rather not try anything at all. He's saying that change or adventure is dangerous for people like us because we don't have a safety net. We don't have a backup plan. We don't have a rich auntie or uncle somewhere who will come to our rescue when all the capital we have is gone. This mentality is not arrogance. It is fear that has been shaped by experience. He's probably lost it before and had nobody to help him and had to start from scratch, and it was very difficult. And so he's decided that say meto chacha biom with my life. Kakra na me wono, mamembo ho bai. It shows you that the merchant lives in constant fear of something going wrong, and this limits him. This causes him to continue to live in survival mode. People like that are not lazy. Please, they are not lazy people. They've just been wounded by their past failures and their past experiences, and they have lost the courage to want to venture again and make the same mistake twice. He has come to the point where he believes that yeah, mistake deɛ na bewie ya no no. Wakɔ aware baako ama no egu ɛnyɛ no ano no aware ne deɛ nkɔ biom. And when he sees that somebody who is divorced is venturing into marriage again, he thinks that you are a mad person. Hey, ade okọ ma niam ohun ye wo ato san akobio. He's shaped by his experiences, and he would rather not have to go through the same mistake or the same dark alley twice. But you see, it is true that mistakes can hurt. I have had my fair share of mistakes, and I alone know how much the mistakes I have made in life have hurt me. In fact, I'm still paying for mistakes I'm continuing to make. I know how much mistakes can hurt. I'm still hurting. But don't you ever forget that mistakes don't only bring you hurt and pain and disappointment. That's only one side of the story. But mistakes teach you, they refine you, they redirect you. And if you give yourself that opportunity, they rise you above into another level. So mistakes are not bad. It doesn't serve you to go through life avoiding mistakes. How else would you grow? 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. And so I know that even if I fall 7 times, I will rise again 7 times. I don't care how many times I fall down. The moment I fall down, I'm going to rise back up and keep going. God does not expect us to be perfect. What he demands, what he desires, what he requires is that we keep moving. We keep learning from the mistakes, the motion, and that we trust him that he would lead us to a good place. Page 241. I want to get back to my sheep faster. We have to take advantage when luck is on our side and do as much to help it as it is helping us. The boy is saying that the market is good. So now that the market is good, let's do all we can to salvage it and make the most money. Why do you want to wait? Good opportunities, most opportunities don't last forever. When things are going well, the time when the market is good, you need to work harder and faster so that you can progress faster. If it is Christmas time, even at 11 p.m., people are still buying. Why do you want to close and go and sleep? Because in January, when people are paying fees, they will not buy. Into December, no, mu di bronya na mu to adie no, si pena fa ton adie. Stay awake and sell at the time when people are ready to spend, because January will come and they may not be able to spend. When God gives you an opportunity, the favor he gives you is not enough. The favor is there, but you need to put effort into it. You need to put effort. Success requires your cooperation, not you passively sitting there. The opportunities are there. There are so many opportunities around, but you need to take a step and grab it. And when God gives you a window of opportunity, my brother, my sister, put one foot inside, expand it, change the window, convert it into a door, put another foot inside, put your hands inside, put your legs inside, bele mommy, tre. Open the window, make it a door, make it a manhole, swim in it, and take full advantage of that opportunity. Because there are some opportunities that are for a limited time only. There are some opportunities that come only at a certain time in your life and you will never get it again. When life opens a door for you, don't stand there looking at the open door. Run through it. Fly if you must. Page 246. Because it's the thought of Mecca that keeps me alive. That's what helps me face these days that are all the same. These mute crystals on the shelves. and lunch and dinner at the same horrible cafe. I'm afraid that if my dream is realized, I'll have no reason to go on living. And when I read it, I was like, what? What do you mean that if your dream is realized, there'll be nothing else to live for? Listen up. Come closer. If you ever thought like this merchant, drop that mentality today. If you feel that the moment you realize your dream, nasa, so you would not work towards realizing the dream. Just having the dream is enough for you. So every day you wake up, oh, I have a dream, said that she meko US of that she meko US of and I meko UK and I Germany. And that is only a dream. You don't want to work hard enough to realize the dream because you think that into me call her another day. Not then saying when you have a dream, you work hard to realize the dream because when that dream is finished, you dream again and you dream again and you dream again and you dream again. Until you are dead, there's no reason not to dream again. At the end of every dream, it's a beginning of another one. You are not entitled to just one dream. So there should never be a time in your life where you are just content having the dream because when you realize the dream, now you are stuck. How can you be stuck? Look at all the opportunities around you. We serve a God who is limitless. There's no limit to what you and I can do. And so don't ever tell me that your dream is finished. Your dream cannot be finished. Saying, don't be like that merchant. Some people have meaning in their life not because they are realizing their dream, but dream dream. No. If you are in that class, please leave that class. That class is not good for you. I need you to move from that class where your dream is hanging on your wall like a promised land that you don't want to get to right now because you need to move from that place where your dream is something that you never really intend to achieve, but it makes you feel good. You wake up in the morning, it makes you feel like there's something to look forward to. Move from that class and move to this other class where your dream is not just a source of comfort or a reason to endure hard days, but it is actually a destination that you are looking forward to arriving at. You are looking forward to getting to the end of that dream and asking yourself, what is next? What next can I do for myself? What next can I do for my family? What next can I do for humanity? What next can I do for the kingdom of God? That is the class you should be in, where at the beginning of one dream, another one has started, where there are multiple dreams. And so you are not afraid to finish one. As you are finishing one, you are in the middle of another one. You are at the end of another one. Another one is beginning. That is the kind of life of purpose that God has called us to. God gives us dreams so that we work and walk into the dream rather than hiding it, like the person who was given the talent and went to hide it under the sun. Page 251. You must always know what it is that you want. You must always know what you want. And then now, some of us, we don't even know what we want. And yet we are looking for, what are you looking for? If you don't know what you want, if you don't know where you are going, everywhere becomes a favorable destination for you. You must define what you want. You must define where you are going. And you need to do it now if you've not done it already. I remember last year when I was going around doing the schools outreaches, one of the things I told the little ones in senior high school was that my journey from being a kenke seller to being a doctor was so hard. But what made the journey bearable was the fact that I knew my end point. I knew where the journey was supposed to end. And that was why when I got to Kumasi and it looked like I didn't stop there. That was why when I got to Sunyani and it was hard, I did not stop there because my destination is Burkina Faso. So until I get there, I'm not going to stop. You see why you should have a destination. If you don't have a destination in mind, the difficulties of life are such that they'll force you to settle in Kumasi when your actual destination is Tamale. That is why you need to set your destination even before the journey starts. That is why you need to define exactly what you want. And it is in every area of your life. Not just about what you want to do with your life. It's not just about career, but even in your relationship, in your marriage, before you start looking for the man or woman, you should know what you are looking for. Because if you don't know what you are looking for, if you don't have the criteria written down, or baby did some woman will use her beauty or her nyash or her skills in bed to floor you, when you better no na dia ompe na waware na eda wo nchen. So know what you want. Be very clear about your desire. Don't be vague about it. Don't be passive about it. Know your direction. Don't just do the duties. You are just doing, no, it's not about doing duties. What is the end? What is the end goal for you? You are not just going to work in this small organization and every day getting up. Like, is that all you want to be, a receptionist? There must be something. As you are going through the motion every day, there is something else. Maybe you are gathering money to go to school, to earn a degree, to earn a master's, to go and learn some other kind of skill. It's not just about going through the motion, but there must be a direction. Somebody would say there must be a system in the madness. People will see you going up and down, they'll think you are crazy. But you alone know what you are looking for. When I started this work and I had my mobile ultrasound machine in my bag and I'll be wheeling it around the corridors of Kolebu Polyclinic and surgical unit in Kolebu, I'm sure there were people who were laughing at me because they saw madness. They didn't see the system in it. But I was going up and down. I had a direction. I had a direction. So you don't just go through the motion. There must be a plan. There must be something on paper that you are working towards. And if you don't know what you want, life will decide for you. And invariably, life will give you not what you want. In your life, knowing what you want gives you focus. It gives you focus. It causes distractions to fall so that you can look at your goal. It motivates you. There's motivation when you know what lies at the end of the journey. That is what keeps you going. And it gives you the ability to make wise choices because you know that if you go clubbing all night and you have a paper on Monday and you need to clock an A in that paper, it may not serve you well to club all night. So you choose to sit on your ass and read. If you don't know what you want, you drift. You will settle for anything that comes and you confuse comfort with purpose because sometimes you get to a place where it is comfortable, but that is not your destination. And if your destination has not been defined from the beginning, you stay in the comfort zone and you never get to your promised land. When you don't know what you want, when you know what you want, it will help you to say no to distractions. So when your friend comes and tell you that, oh, Shatawale program be, you love Shatawale, but that material moment, you know that you have to tender in your assignment the next morning. So you postpone Chatawale that time after your exams, then there would always be another Chatawale show. And when you know what you want, you endure the hardships that come with meaning. When him say yeah ding, but when him say utumi femu wia, this is the reward you get. So that keeps you going. I remember when Jacob wanted to marry a certain love of his life, and he worked for 7 years, and they gave him Leah. And they asked him and said that if you want Rachel, dear, and your son soon 7 years, if you want Rachel, then serve me for another 7 years. And because of his love and desire for Rachel, he did the 7 years and they did not even feel like 7 years to him. The thing that lies at the end, you desire it so much so that it makes the hardship, the journey, bearable. Knowing what you want to help you to recognize opportunity. It will help you to prevent manipulations, because there are a lot of people around you who are looking for something different from what you are looking for. Sometimes they are looking for the same thing as you are looking for, but they believe that it's only one of you who can get it. And so in order for them to get it, they will distract you, right? And so you need to be that kind of person who is so focused on your destination that nobody can come and manipulate you and derail you from the track you are supposed to be on. When you know what you want, it strengthens your boundaries, because we all have boundaries, but some of us are not able to be firm on our boundaries. If you are a man who treasures your marriage and you don't want infidelity anywhere near your dwelling place, you set boundaries. There's no way you'll be going to have lunch with one particular worker every day, or going to visit a lady worker in a house after 10 p.m. If you have boundaries, because you want your marriage to work. When your wife tells you that, I don't like the way you are close to Issy's daughter, you back off. When you know what you want, your boundaries are strengthened. When you know what you want, there is inner peace. There are all kinds of people flashing all kinds of successes around. There was a time in my life, the car I was driving, my brother, everybody kept saying, Rosie, oh, change your car, this car, dear. Everybody, change your car. People on my case. There are times when people will be on your case about your wardrobe, about something about your life. Oh, change your laptop. Oh, as for this phone, yeah, no lie, buy a new phone. Because you see everybody around you riding beautiful cars, four-wheel drives, Pajero, Land Cruiser, wine. iPhone 17, 18, 20 Pro Max, Pico. And if you don't have something you are living for, something that you believe in so much, so you are diverting your finances into that for a period, you look at all the things your colleagues or contemporaries have, and you have sleepless nights. Charlie, right here. Roger releasing dear was said before 2026, but and they may releasing new one. You are losing your sleep over somebody's success. But when you know that you are investing the money in a business that will double or triple or quadruple in the next 3 or 4 years, who gives a damn what car Roger is driving or the designer clothes that Tina is wearing? Nobody gives a damn. I certainly don't. And because I have goals that I have written down so clearly, that I don't lose sleep over what anybody or everybody is doing. Just focus on what I'm building for myself. Page 254. Beauty is the great seducer of men. This is our last passage for this episode. Beauty is the great seducer of men. We all know that men like beautiful women. Charlie, if you have a marketing team and you don't have beautiful women on it, please, I beg you, go and find some beautiful daughters of Eve and plant them in your marketing team. Because whether you like it or not, we as human beings, especially the species that are called men, human beings, we like things that are beautiful, because beauty brings a lot of great influence. Beauty sparks desire. Beauty is attractive. One of my favorite places at work is the conference room. And I love the conference room because it is beautiful. It is calm. It is soothing. And so when I'm at work now, I do my videos there. So I leave my office and my comfortable desk and I go and sit in the conference room and I'm looking at it. And I like the gentle blue walls and the white blinds. And when something is so beautiful, it can ignite attraction in you. And the attraction may be so great that it can overpower judgment. That attraction can be so great that it goes against your better judgment. How many men have made the mistake of falling in love with a beautiful smile or dimple or a beautiful ass and made the mistake of marrying the whole woman, and they are nothing near what he wants for a wife. So beauty can spark attraction, and that attraction can overpower your judgment. This is the negative aspect of it. But when you flip it around, there are two of you going for a job. You are both equally qualified, equally eloquent. One person is better dressed, looks more beautiful than the other person. The one who is looking more beautiful is likely to get the job because of that beauty. Don't forget, the book said that beauty is a great seducer of men. And that is why why do you want to look ordinary when you can look nice? You don't need to have designer clothes or 50 clothes, even if it is one dress you have. Iron it, wash it, let it smell good, wear it with confidence. Topons kakrana chiwenim kawano. Look nice. Look nice. I want to challenge myself and everybody out there listening to me. Beauty is a great seducer of men. So anytime you have the opportunity to add beauty to yourself, to add beauty to a place, to add beauty to a thing, don't stop. Don't stop. Look around your house. Look around your office, your own life. What dress it will be? Ask yourself, is there anything I can add to this to make it more beautiful? Because everybody likes a beautiful thing. Unless the person is a witch or wench. But anybody who is genuine and not a wench, they like beautiful things. Add beauty to your life. Ask yourself, in what ways can I add beauty to my life? And in every step you take, every decision you make, remember that beauty is a great seducer of men, especially for those of us in business. Add beauty to whatever you are selling. Add beauty and watch your life turn around. Thank you. It's been great sharing this time with you. I look forward to our next episode. Bye.